Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Annelies and today I will be reviewing 4 new Zara fragrances. This collection is called Sensitive Metals and it contains of 4 fragrances called Gold Oddity, Majestic Silver, Splendid Bronze and Mystical Metal. These fragrances come in 100ml bottles and they retail for roughly 18 euros in Europe, 28 US dollars and 33 Canadian dollars. But first, if you're like me and you love Zara fragrances or you just want to try to get to know them a little bit better, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I have several other Zara fragrance related videos up on my channel already, and whenever Zara releases new fragrances, I order them and I will review them so you can make an informed decision on which one to buy. Just to give you an idea of which ones may suit you or which ones you might like. So yeah, let's just get started. And the first one I will be reviewing is called Gold Oddity. The notes of this one are mineral notes, whatever that means, spicy notes and leather. Now, when I tried this, those notes were not at all what I was getting. To be honest, I was just getting a white floral, but not a white floral as you know today, like as most designers are, because those white florals very often are balanced out with something sweet in the base, usually vanilla. This one does not have that sweet base, so it's just your more classic type of white floral without any sweetness. And honestly, I kind of like that. It does remind me a little bit of like more of a late 90s, early 2000s type of white floral. I couldn't say which floral exactly, but it does sort of remind me a little bit of DKNY Golden Delicious. I've had that one for many years. I think I still have my bottle upstairs. And I'm not saying it's a dupe, I'm not saying they smell the same, but it's that type of white floral fragrance. So yeah, the mineral notes, I don't know exactly what that means, but I kind of get it. So it does have a bit of a metallic-y scent, but honestly, I'm not really getting spicy notes or leather, especially the leather I'm not getting. And for me, that's a good thing because I don't really enjoy the notes of leather. I think suede can smell kind of nice, but actual leather, it's just too heavy and animalic and dirty for me. I'm not getting leather in this one. So if it's in here, which it probably is, but I'm not picking up on it. So if it's in here, it's very light or at least very clean. This does not have a dirty leather smell at all. It's actually funny because I do think that gold suits this type of scent. I feel like everything, like every fragrance that has the word gold in it or has like a full golden bottle, they sort of all have similar type of scent profiles. Usually white floral, usually not really sweet, but more of a sharp, classic type of white floral. And this one is the same. So think of fragrances such as, like I said, DKNY Golden Delicious. So not the green apple one, but the golden one. I'm thinking a little bit of J'adore. What's it called? I'm not sure how to pronounce this actually, but J'adore Infinissisme. Yeah, I'm probably butchering that, but that type of floral, I'm thinking Gabrielle by Chanel, not the Essence, but the OG. You know, I'm not saying this is a dupe for any, or it smells the same like those fragrances, but it's that type of chic white floral. I'm thinking this is something that Claudia Schiffer might have smelled like in 1998. So yeah, I kind of like that. I don't think it's for everyone. So if you know the fragrances that I compared it to and you like those types of fragrances, then I do think you're gonna like this. But it is not very modern smelling or anything, which I personally don't mind. I think, you know, these days, the same type of raspberry, rose and oud type of DNA comes by so often that I do enjoy a nice clean, white floral, like back in the day. I do enjoy it. And actually, I do think I'm gonna keep this one because it is right up my alley. So if I were to describe this fragrance in 3 words, I would say sophisticated, chic, and feminine. So yeah, I do think it's a very feminine leaning fragrance. I know fragrance doesn't have a gender, but you know, that's just my opinion. If I smell this, I do think of a woman. It also sort of smells like someone just got ready in their, like the Hilton Hotel or something. They came out of the bathroom and they're all dressed in a white, like a casual white pantsuit, got some sunglasses on. It's early spring morning and they're all fresh and clean. That is what this fragrance reminds me of. And if you ask me, this is very office friendly. Like I said, it has a chicness. There's something professional about this fragrance. So yeah, it's a win in my book. I would personally, that's just my taste, I would rate this fragrance, let's say a 7.5 out of 10 with moderate projection and moderate longevity, I would say. So yeah, it's a win in my book. That was Gold Oddity. The next one I tried is called Mystical Metal. And this one has notes of raspberry, saffron, hibiscus, and leather. So I gave this a spray and my first impression was, okay, this is nice. It's a nice fragrance. I do like it. What came to mind first was actually a sort of comparison. Again, it's not a dupe by any means, but I did think of La Vie Belle because it has a little bit of that same sweetness, but also a little bit of that familiarity. I don't know if I'm saying that word right, but I did think, you know, this is not a scent that I haven't smelled before. It does remind me, I mean, it smells like something you already know, even though I couldn't really pinpoint what it reminded me of. So like I said, for one, the sweetness of La Vie Belle, and then also a little bit, it reminded me a little bit of Hipster Oud by Zara. And I know in my previous video, I already compared that fragrance to Hipster Oud. So, and I'm not saying this smells the same, but it's sort of Hipster Oud meets La Vie Belle meets probably some other fragrances. So yeah, I did like it. I'm gonna give it another spray. Even though I like it, for my liking personally, it's a little bit too sweet. It's great, but it's kind of on the sweet side, so you do need to like that. I don't know where the sweetness comes from, and honestly, I'm also definitely picking up on rose in this fragrance. Even though it's not listed in the notes, I can't really imagine there not being any rose in here. I'm not saying it's super rose heavy, because rose can be cloying and harsh. I don't really have that with this one, but it's gotta be in there somewhere. The leather, again, is not animalic or dirty, but I'm picking up on it a little bit more than I did in the previous fragrance, where I just didn't pick up on it at all. But yeah, it's quite nice, and it also has quite strong projection, which is always a good thing. Now, I checked on Fragrantica, and I saw that people were comparing this fragrance to Oud Satin Mood by MFK. Now, I get the comparison. It does have some similarity, but it doesn't have that oud. So me, I'm not an oud fan by any means. I don't like it. I get why people like it, but it's just not for me. This one sort of smells like Oud Satin Mood without oud. So like this could be a cousin of that one, but on the parent side that doesn't have oud. I saw a comparison to Roses Vanille by Mancera. It doesn't smell the same, so it's not a dupe for that. You probably already know that Zara has a dupe for Roses Vanille, which is called Rose Gourmand. That one is definitely a dupe. This one isn't. This one is quite different, but I do get the comparison. They are both sweet, sultric, and even though not listed here, they both have rose. Roses Vanille, like the name says, is very vanilla rose, and this is just sweet rose-ish. I also saw that it got compared to Rose's Musk by Montale. I can tell you absolutely, I do not agree with that at all. It does not smell like Rose's Musk. I love Rose's Musk. I think it smells very fresh. I think it's a very summery, spring type of sunny fragrance. This one I would not wear in sunny summertime weather. This one to me is more of a winter fragrance, or you know, when it's sort of rainy out or just a little bit darker, it's perfect for in the evening. So no, I would not compare those two at all. And then I also saw someone comparing this, or several people comparing this to Tuscan Leather by Tom Ford. Again, I would not compare the two. Even though this has some leather, it is not nearly as leather heavy as Tuscan Leather. I really don't like that one. Like I said earlier, it's just so leathery. It's just dirty smelling to me, and this one is not. It has a lot of sweetness that I don't think Tuscan Leather has. So no, I wouldn't compare those two at all. If I had to compare it to other fragrances, I would say it's somewhat of a mixture between La Vie Belle, maybe some Hibiscus Mahajat, and thrown in some Hipster Oud. Like if you were to combine those three fragrances, sprinkle on a little bit of Rose's Vanille, and that sort of gives you an idea of what this one smells like. So yeah, I do think it's a good one. Personally, I would rate this, I think I'm also gonna give it a 7.5, but if I were to give my rating a little bit more, like more my taste, I think I would rate it a little bit lower, as it is slightly too sweet for me. But I think a lot of people really are gonna like this one. So that was Mystical Metal. Next up, we have Splendid Bronze. And if you're a Zara fragrance fan already, you might recognize this name, as there was also a Splendid Bronze fragrance in the Minimal collection, which was released last year. I did make a video about it. I reviewed all those fragrances, and actually Splendid Bronze in that one was my favorite, or at least one of my favorites. I have 2 bottles, and so I was curious to know, is this the same, or are they just using the same name for a new fragrance? Which wouldn't be that weird, because Zara tends to do weird things with their fragrances. But I can already tell you that yes, this is the same Splendid Bronze as in the Minimal collection, which is a dupe for Mugler's Alien. And in my video in the Minimal collection where I reviewed Splendid Bronze, a lot of people in the comments said that it was more a dupe for Alien Absolu, which has been discontinued for quite a while. So I haven't ever been able to smell that one, and chances are I will never be able to smell that. But to me, it still really smelled like OG Alien. So if you like that fragrance, you're definitely gonna love this one. So the notes of this one are jasmine, orange blossom, heliotrope orchid, cashmere wood, and vanilla. Definitely that jasmine that is very typical of Alien fragrances is very prominent in this one. I think it smells so good. I actually had Alien as my signature scent years ago. I think it was about like at least 7 or 8 years ago. That was pre-reformulation, so back when it was still even better than it is today. I do think my Splendid Bronze and this one are a bit lighter. It's not as bold as OG Alien, but that actually, I don't think that's a bad thing per se, as it becomes a little bit more wearable during the day, or even during, you know, spring and summer. I actually think this is suitable to wear then as well. I actually let my husband sniff this, and he said, this smells like someone who looks great and is entering a beach club on vacation, like in Mykonos or something, with a bronze tan. So this one out of the 4 is most designery smelling, as it has white florals with vanilla in the base, you know, the sort of typical designer fragrance DNA, which obviously isn't true for all designer fragrances. I'm I'm not looking down upon them or anything. I love designer fragrances, but that is something sort of typical. And if you like those types of fragrances, like I said, it's a dupe for Alien, but if you don't know what Alien smells like, and you like fragrances such as Chi Gorgeous Gardenia or YSL Libre or Flower Bomb, let's say, you know, I'm not saying this smells like any of those fragrances, that's not what I mean, but those types of fragrances all have that floral vanilla type of DNA, and this one does as well. So personally, I love that DNA, and for me, this is actually my favorite from the 4, even though it's a re-release. So this is another win for me. It's completely up my alley, and that is why I would rate this fragrance a 9 out of 10. Also, I thought the projection and longevity were moderate to strong. Did I say the projection of the previous one? Because that was also moderate to strong, or even just strong. This one is moderate to strong, so yeah, I don't have any complaints. It's a 9 out of 10 for me, and that is Splendid Bronze. And then we have reached our final fragrance, which is called Majestic Silver. I know fragrances don't have a gender, or there's no such thing as a masculine or feminine fragrance, but if you're a little bit old school like me and you still sort of smell something and think of a woman or a man, then I would say this is the most masculine scent of the collection. And it's another re-release, not with this name, because Majestic Silver is, as far as I know, a new name in Zara fragrances, but it smells exactly the same as Energetically New York, which was in their Vibrant Cities collection. I think that collection came out like 2 years ago, maybe 2.5 years ago, something like that. It was created by Jo Malone. I have had several fragrances of that line, including Energetically New York, but I did gift it to my husband, as for me, this is a very masculine fragrance. So Energetically New York as Majestic Silver are both dupe-ish or inspired by Santal 33, which you probably know is a super popular fragrance by Labo. I know it's unisex, and I know a lot of women wear it. For me, it's because it's so sandalwood heavy, it's a fresh sandalwood. Woody fragrances just make me think of guys more than women, so that's just me. Please don't be offended if you do like to wear woody fragrances as a woman. Wear what you want, I don't mind. But this one, I like it, but this is not a fragrance that I personally would wear. But if you like those Santal 33 types of sandalwood fragrances, then you are going to like this one. And if you know Energetically New York by Zara a few years ago, then you don't really need to try this one out, as it smells exactly the same. I do think it's a repackaged, renamed fragrance, but it's just the same juice. So I haven't actually tried this one on skin, but I remember the Energetically New York one having a massive scent trail after only 2 or 3 sprays. My husband wore it a few times, and it was just like, I think it was his strongest fragrance out of his entire collection. His collection isn't that big, but this was the cheapest one in his collection and definitely the strongest one. So I didn't try this one, but I'm sort of assuming, and if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments, but I'm sort of assuming that it's the same juice, so that this might be very strong projecting as well. And I'm so sorry, but I forgot to mention the notes. So the notes given on Fragrantica are cardamom, bergamot, floral notes, tonka bean, and musk. I can only really agree with the cardamom, I guess. It does have spiciness, so that is probably the cardamom. Floral notes, tonka bean, where exactly? I don't think that is the case. I'm just smelling a fresh, spicy sandalwood. It is a sandalwood fragrance, at least to my nose. So if you don't agree, feel free to let me know, that's fine. But yeah, that one was Majestic Silver. So to conclude, for me, this collection is actually a win. I do like all 4 fragrances. Let me just quickly recap all 4. So the first one, Gold Oddity, comparable to like non-sweet classic white florals. Think DKNY Golden Delicious, think Chanel Gabrielle, fragrances like that. If you like that, you're gonna like this one. In my opinion, very feminine leaning. The second one we discussed was Mystical Metal, which is a saffron, leathery, hibiscus sweet fragrance, comparable to La Vie Belle, Hibiscus Mahajad, Hipster Oud, so sweet and sultric, very well made, moderate to strong projection. Then we had Splendid Bronze, which is a repackaged older Splendid Bronze as in the Minimal collection, which in its turn is a dupe for Mugler's Alien. So a very nice jasmine vanilla type of fragrance, super feminine if you ask me. Love it, great projection, moderate to strong projection, moderate to long longevity. And then finally we had Majestic Silver, which is just Energetically New York repackaged, which is Santal 33-ish inspired. I'm not saying it's a one-on-one dupe, but it's a fresh, masculine leaning, if you ask me, a fresh cardamom sandalwood fragrance. So a great collection all in all. 2 new ones, 2 re-releases. I think they're great. I love the bottles as well and the pricing, and it's just a win for me. I don't think every new Zara release is a win, not at all. I'm always honest with my personal opinion on them. But this one, yeah, I do think it's worth checking out. So let me know in the comments if you have and what your thoughts are. I would love to hear. I will be reviewing the Jo Malone floral collection. That one is coming up very soon. I received my package today, so I will be testing them out and probably uploading my video, I'm thinking this weekend. So that one is coming up. And also Zara re-released 4 fragrances that I already reviewed, but I will be making a new video on that one. So stay tuned if you want to watch those videos. Feel free to hit that subscribe button. And thanks again for watching. I will see you for the next one. Bye.